Alright, this is getting intense here. So, he created a little bit of opportunity, a little window for me, possibly, potentially, we'll see. So, uh, he bought a transport, put it down here in the med. So he's got two transports down there now, 11 infantry and an artillery. Obviously, the big scare here to me is these guys, actually. You know, London and DC. That's my big fear. Now, on one side, he put his fighters in Karelia, which gives me the opportunity to build in C-Zone 7 this turn. You know, only his bomber could reach, so I could drop like a carrier and fly this fighter back, or a carrier and a destroyer, or whatever, you know. Um, he gave me that window. So, something I gotta really kind of think about. On the flip side, like I said, we got this mess, and now two transports. You know, I didn't even see. Did he bring some people over? Yeah, he brought a couple over from Italy over to Libya. He backed off of Egypt, brought a couple guys over. Um, deal there. So it starts getting a little more tricky here, because these transports, this fleet, unfortunately, it could come up here. It could use them to get units up to Caucasus and be blasting these guys, these builds. He could use them to get down here into Africa. He can use them to come on out and start looking at uh, the capitals. So I need to prepare at the very least. If he comes to 14, preparing for a possible sea lion, I can always throw my destroyer down here as a block for a turn to buy me a turn. So that's one thing on my mind. But if he comes to 13, again, I could block DC so that it would be safe, but you can't block here, right? If he's here, then he can go ahead and attack the sea lion, you know, attack onto um, through C Zone 8 or even through C Zone 7 for that matter. So you can't block it if he gets out to 13. So I need to try to dead zone 13 as best as possible. So I need US to be successful without much reinforcement, because I need to build some US subs as well as my destroyer, and probably ring back my bomber to be able to cover this zone as well. Um, this is a tricky situation. I'm not gonna lie. And again, I know I'm playing an uphill battle. I've been saying it. This is an uphill battle. If I pull this off, this is gonna be one of those wow games. So I'm keeping that in factor. So I think I've decided I'm gonna drop a carrier, fighter, bring my other two fighters down here, so I have 6 fighters and a sub versus everything he's got. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him up. I'm going to give him India. I'm just going to back out of India. I mean, trust me, I don't want to give India up, but if I'm going to give India up, I'd rather go to Japan than Germany. Not sure where we'll go from there. But if I sit here and create a big fleet with one last buy down here, that should be enough to just topple the scales onto them and let America start working quickly, hopefully on picking off the islands and getting things up and running. So I'm going to take DEI, I think, with UK. Give him something else to think about sending his fighters after other than my fleet. And, oh. we're just gonna see what happens here. I think it's not the ideal situation to be in. I think by pulling guys back, pulling these UK transports right around here, I can clog up Africa pretty good, at least for a little while. So, and then maybe these come back into Moscow and help Moscow live a little while longer. Because that's the one thing, the good news here is it's diverting that 7 IPC, so that's 2 land troops that he did not build to head towards Moscow. So that's a happy day for me. Anything else, and plus he sent 2 more units down to Africa than usual, so that's 4 units. So yeah, that's units that aren't going to Moscow. And I am, as is, I'm going to get to hold West Russia even without this UK fighter in there. I'm going to get to hold West Russia this turn. So that's the good news. So yeah, I think my build's going to be fighter, sub, carrier, and we're just going to pray I can make something work out here. Hope that he attacks my UK and just flubs. So here we go. This is J3 will really play a role in determining if this game's over yet or not. If you don't consider it over already, that is. The other thing too here is I'm gonna have to make fighters before carrier, which I have to double check that. I got too many games going at the moment to trust that's what I have, because if he takes India, which he will, then these guys, I can't have him just kill the boats underneath the planes. So it's going to make it that little bit weaker of stack there, unfortunately. The real question starts to become, do I try to do it with 2 infantry and 2 planes, and then that'll leave me 2 planes that I can use on Egypt and 2 infantry that I could use there, or do I pull back and just let Egypt go? I don't think I want to let Egypt go, though. I was going to go 3 planes on the DEI, just really trying to make sure that that it works. But Egypt is tempting to just kill off units while I can too. So we could look like that kind of idea. I will, if he doesn't wipe out the fleet, I'll have my tank and these guys sitting here, down here, and fighters, so I'll have 7 units that I could bring in to his 6 or whatever he brings into that. Can also move that guy, well, he could transport it, kill him, so. Alright, less thinking, just acting. Here we go. Whoop, don't think, just hit the button. It's over. No choices. Two fighter hits right off the bat. One hit. Alright. Whiff. Alright, come on. There we go. Alright. Yay. That's fine. Whatever. So I always have the option to retreat this if I don't like how it goes, and I can pull one of my infantry one direction or the other. I didn't like how that went. Oh, here we go. Come on. I didn't mean to hit so fast there. I was going to say I could think about retreating at that point with only 1 living, but oh well. We'll take the money. UK needs money for an Atlantic emergency fleet. Oh wait, we don't want that. Although it'd be nice to have him to be able to be on that transport. I want him to be able to get to Egypt. And I could use a transport to get him there too, but I'd rather him get there without the transport use so we can save a transport. So, I mean, he could take his cruiser out there, but at least these two gives me a shot at anything in here. Yeah, we'll talk about that later if it becomes relevant. Up here, let's see, do we want to move these guys out of the way? No, I'm going to keep him over there. If he wants to take Australia, he's, divide his units as much as possible. I mean, he can take it if he wants it regardless, so. Next question is, do we move people up to here? I mean, he's got 6 planes, a battleship, a cruiser, and 2 transports threatening Caucasus. And I think I'm going to need all my Russians I have to continue to hold West Russia. So, I got a feeling it's unwise to move them into there yet. On R5, I imagine I have to pull them back out. So we'll use them on R5, I imagine. I could move him on up here. Potentially to 2, 3, 4. Yeah, no, my area ain't going to be up there, is it? Well, alright. So what I'm going to do before I finalize things, I'm going to double check if Caucasus, there's any way to hold Caucasus and West Russia after Russia 4. I don't think there is, but I'm just going to double check. If there is, then I'm going to move my AA and my man, go ahead and move them into there now to defend. So that's what I'm going to check, but I'm not going to, again, hold the recording up.